Good morning, rise and shine. It's like 6:30 here in Chicago. It's kind of cold today, but not too crazy. Wearing all my Flag Nor Fail. My husband bought this for me for Black Friday, just a gift because he is amazing and loves to give gifts. But I'm out this morning taking a morning walk, like you can see, on our neighborhood. And I wanted to talk about routines. So I get a lot of questions from women about, what does your routine look like? How do you get your workout in every day? And, what's like your weekend routine around meal prep and just doing all the things that we need to do in the midst of life. And so I'm going to approach this actually from a couple different angles. And I think for most of you who work in corporate America or full-time jobs, this is going to be really beneficial for you because this is kind of what my morning routine looks like, and I actually still use it a lot depending upon the day and like what's going on at the gym. If I have clients in the morning or afternoon, it kind of just depends on my schedule for the day. So I do have a set morning routine that I do when I wake up, but some of the days, depending upon like work schedule and clients, I'll switch things around. So for me, my favorite morning routine when I worked in corporate, I needed to be at work by around like 8:30. I would get up at 5 because I honestly believe that you need some time to yourself in the morning time. I'm a morning person. I'm definitely not a night person. If you know me or if you've met my husband, he will tell you if I hit that couch at like 9 o'clock and there's a movie on, I don't even care if I've wanted to see it for like a while, I'm out. So morning time is best for me. That's when I feel most productive, most creative. That's why we're talking about morning routine right now. And I have my sunglasses on because it looks gloomy out here, but it's actually like the sun is like coming from this direction. So I would get up at 5, and that would be just kind of like my time. I would make a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, get going, kind of think about like my day and what I wanted to get done. So at that point in time, I was working on Fit Cookery. I was studying for nutrition certifications because I was in the process of kind of making the switch from corporate to the entrepreneur life and working with Strength Republic full time. So I needed to get some of those things done, and as there's not enough hours in the day, as we all know. So you have to get up and you have to prioritize like what needs to get done that day and like what can wait until tomorrow so that you can just focus and get it done. So I would then, I'd spend about an hour from 5 to 6, could have been studying, was usually cooking or making videos in the gym or recipes. And then I would have my workout time from 6:30 to 7:30. I love working out in the morning. It just gets me going. So on the days that I don't work out in the morning, I still try to do something. So here I'm out moving today, just taking a walk, probably just like a mile or two. Or if it's, cold or rainy or snowy, I will just do some mobility at home and maybe get on a treadmill for like 10 or 15 minutes just to get moving and grooving and get the juices flowing, the creative juice flowing. So my workout hour is usually in the morning, and then from there I would go home and obviously get ready, go to work, boom, the day started, done there. And then from a weekend perspective, so depending upon what was on the agenda for the weekend, I would do grocery shopping sometimes like during the week, or do my meal prep like Saturday or Monday evening if I didn't get it done on Sunday. Just because some Sundays you're, having Sunday fun day and you're out and you're doing movies and you're shopping and, going to church or just having lunch and like enjoying time with family and with friends. So I always made it a priority to get to the grocery store. Like going to the grocery store doesn't need to take forever. I didn't have to go in with like this crazy grocery shopping list. Like I just need to get like the staple things and bring them home so I know I have the food in the house, and then I would get my meal prep done. Personally, I tell you, I think Saturday afternoon or Sunday is a great time to do it because then you just are set for the week. You don't have to stress, you don't have to worry about it at all. And then in the nighttime, like after work, so many people say, I don't have time. Like I don't have time to work out, or I don't have time to read this book or to take this course or learn something or pick up a hobby or, you know, whatever. And a lot of you may have kids, and obviously that is going to be a little bit different routine and schedule. But I would challenge you with this. If you've got time to be on social media, scrolling, Pinteresting, if you're like me, we can get lost on Pinterest for like hours. Pin is what my husband says. Like, you know, Pinspiration is awesome, but like the reality is, like, how often do you actually do what Pinterest has on there, because you just wasted a bunch of time looking at it all and then not actually taking action. And the same thing goes with your fitness goals, right? Like, a lot of people will be like, well, I spent 2 hours looking for recipes, and, you know, then I just didn't have time to actually like cook all the food. Well, don't waste that time, you know? Listen to audiobooks when you're meal prepping. Start your laundry when you're meal prepping. I multitask. I'm not a great multitasker, because guess what? No one is. But some things like that are really simple, I'll throw the laundry in before I start my food prep. Halfway through, you know, I'm like, put the proteins and the veggies in the oven, I'll go flip the laundry over and then maybe fold it later, you know? Or same thing with other little things that you can get done. Like, I listen to audiobooks. I listen to my favorite music. If I feel like I'm just like down and I need to get pumped up, like, I just got to get in that headspace and like create the time just for me to get it done that I need to get done. And I had to stop making excuses of not having time, because I looked at where my time was being spent, and then kind of went back and like had the epiphany of like, holy cow, I literally spent 5 hours on Facebook this week. What? Like, it's crazy, but we don't realize where those minutes go. And the same thing goes with, I know this is going to be a touchy subject for some people, but at work. So I was a previous HR manager, and people would always be like, oh, I didn't have time to get that done. And I'm like, okay. But they had time for an hour and a half lunch, you know, they had time for emailing nonsense, you know, with their friends or whatever. They had time to sit there on the phone and, you know, Pinterest or Facebook or whatever it was that they were doing that wasn't being productive time. So use like the best, make the best of your time, make it productive. And so for some of you, you might be thinking like, man, you just like grind all day, and like, absolutely not. No, I do believe in taking breaks. I think that if you can kind of like plug in for 45-50 minutes every single hour, and by plug in, I mean no cell phone, or like cell phones on airplane mode. You're not checking your email during that time, because then you get distracted and it's like scroll, right? If you've got a project that you need to get done at work, shut all that stuff off, turn on some like concentration music, and just plug in for 45-50 minutes, set a timer, then take a break, get up, walk around, have some water, say hi to your friends, check your phone, whatever, and then right back at it the next hour for 45 or 50 minutes. And I guarantee you, you'll be like, okay, it's 4 o'clock, I'm ready to go. Like, all my work's done, and you don't need to sit there till 5. Because like, some people just sit and like clock their time, and it's like the stupidest thing ever, because employers don't realize like there's so much time that's being wasted. And like, people, if they would just be productive in the time that they're there, like, then you could get out an hour earlier, and you could get your workout in, or you could get, you know, the education that you want further related to, you know, whatever it is that you want to learn about. So that's kind of like how my morning routine and my weekend routine works. I think everybody's different. And I'll just leave you with this. I think that it's very important, as I said before, to create space and set yourself up for success by prioritizing your day and like writing down. I'm a list person. I need to know like what needs to get done today, what's that priority, and like number them. And then I like to check them off or cross them off, or like, boom, it's done. And at the end of the day, I'll write down like, okay, what I didn't get done today, and like, is it top priority for tomorrow? And sometimes reevaluate that. Like, why was this on my priority list for the last 5 days if it never got done? Like, obviously there's not that much urgency around it. So is it even something that really matters, or is it something that I just need to let go and like come back to it in the future if needed? So prioritize your time, take a look at where you're spending your time, and cut out the things that aren't helping you get to where you want to be and aren't helping you make the most of your time. So that's all I got for you today. Talk to you soon.